They saying I'm the GOAT, I tell them I am redemption. Yeah, we build different.
All right, we are coming to you live from Podcast Studio Austin. First of all, I'd like to give a special shout out to Squatch Frontier Fitness, dope ass gym here in Austin. If you were ever by here, please come check it out. If you're in the High Rocks, sauna, cold plunge, any of that stuff, it is my personal gym, good friends of mine, and I strongly endorse it to anybody that listens to this. But without further ado, this episode has been a long time coming. There's been some very respected guests that have come on this show. Julia Renee, who's actually up behind you right there. And then our good friend Dane, she's down bottom right.
Yeah, I saw her. She used to work out at Big Tex.
Yeah. And then the legend Dane Shaw, the fastest dude in Austin.
Oh, yes.
Both of those people, just through the social media worlds and everything like that, we have figured out that we are all connected to you. And so we were all excited, and everybody saw that I followed you or you followed me. And yes. Cookie was always the name. So had to get the legend on here. Without further ado, how we doing?
Good. We're doing good. I appreciate you bringing me on the podcast.
Of course. So legendary barber here in Austin, world-renowned everywhere. Everybody knows who you are. How did that happen? Where did the popularity come from, Cookie?
I think I just always been popular. But during barber school, I didn't have a place, people to practice on. So I went downtown. I started doing haircuts for the homeless.
Really?
And I did security. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-mm.
So I did security for a lot of big name concert companies. So Emos. The main one was the Empire Control Room and Garage.
Mm-hmm.
So I did backstage for a lot of rappers, singers, old school, like everything, you name it. I've met so many people, famous people, that it's been ridiculous. But from going to school on Riverside and Empires on 6th Street, 7th and Red River, I just started doing haircuts for the homeless, and people would pass by and see me and recognize me, and they recorded me, put me on social media. They did shout outs and all that, and I got a lot of like people, look at what you're doing. But that's not what I was doing it for. I was just needing somebody to practice on. Yeah. So I guess that's how it started, and then I get into a lot of things. Anything that I get into, I want to go 100%. You know, barber, they have barber battles, barber shows, barber classes, everything. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to find out everything, and I think that being a good person and not being a shithead, you can go further in life.
Yeah.
If you just talk to somebody. I've met a lot of people in the industry who have a lot of money and big names, and they don't look it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look it at all. And they're like, thank you for treating me good. And I'm like, well, I mean, I treat everybody good. I don't care what you do, who you are, what you wear. I'm going to treat everybody with the same respect.
Right.
You know?
I was very impressed, and I know you live that life, because when I was down, anybody that's from Texas or saw the national news knows Kerrville got hit with the flood, not long ago. And we were down there, me and my buddy Terrence from Official Project Grit, and we were some of the first people down there, and a bunch of people reached out, but you were one of the first, and you were down there, and you were you were actually down there trying to figure it out. There was a bunch of people that were still up here in Austin. They're like, oh, hey, can we come down? But you were boots on ground there trying to do anything you could. So big shout out to you for that. And that was really, besides just interacting with you a little bit online, that was my first experience. So right then and there, I knew Cookie was my type of people.
Yes, I've always been that way. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel.
I don't
think it's like I'm always the first to react or try to do something.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, when we first started dating, I would do things like that, and she's like, "Well, who's gonna come? Well, who's gonna help? Well, how are we gonna have money? Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that?" I'm like, "Relax. You're new here. You'll figure it out. God provides. It always comes together, no matter what. You just like you said, put your boots on and get out the door, and God will take care of the rest.
Yep.
Don't worry about that. Even if nobody shows up, I'm gonna show up, and that's one more person that showed up than if I didn't go. You know, so now she doesn't ask questions. She just goes.
No, she knows. Where do you think you learned that from? Do you think it's your own personal life experience that did you have somebody that was there for you and that made that impression on you? Or did you have somebody that wasn't there for you that you made the decision, I'll never be that?
That's probably it. I I did have people there for me. I just was out in the streets, and I've always talked about it too. Like, I had no business out in the streets doing what I was doing.
feel
You know, I just felt a need that there's a bigger plan out there, and I know I always thought in my head, actually, I'm not poor. There's no way I'm poor, man. Like, I know for sure my real mom and dad are gonna come save me, and they're like a prince or a king or something. Like there's something out there bigger for me. I did have parents and stuff like that, but I don't know. Uh, they were busy. My mom was always busy. She was raising three kids, three girls by herself. So I was in the streets doing what I was doing, and maybe that's a reason. Just survival. Survival was a big thing.
Yeah.
Hustling, survival. I had to figure something out, as I knew that there was something bigger. Just like now, I know that there's something bigger for me now, even though I've come a long way.
Yeah.
I still am like, there's more I can do. There's more I can have, but also the more I have, the more I can give to other people.
Right.
So
It's so funny. In addiction, it was the most selfish thing in the world, and all I ever wanted to do was take. And I was always broke. I never had shit. Was always asked out. And then as soon as I get sober, and as soon as I turn my sights towards helping people and giving, is when I got it in abundance. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff comes back to you. It's so counterintuitive, but I mean, thankfully, I think I wouldn't change a thing because I had to learn those valuable lessons, and it makes me appreciate life today like I probably wouldn't have before.
absolutely.
And so I understand I have to have that balance, but it's a big, it's a big thing.
Sure.
What, so were you adopted?
No.
No? You had said something that made me think that when you say the streets and stuff like that, so are you drug use, drug dealing? You're in that life for real? What are we talking about? Paint us a picture.
Okay, well, at 18 years old, I was a manager at a bar, and it was a predominantly Mexican bar. All these people from Mexico, and there's a lot of heavy cocaine situation going on there. Once I got ahead, I'm like, okay, I'm making this money being a manager at a bar. All these famous Mexican bands are coming in. All these people that come in are drug dealers, and they have a lot of drugs, and it's easy, and they're offering it, and it's free, and it's like, oh, I can give this to you, an 8-ball for $100, and it's like, I can make a lot of money off of that. So it was just kind of clicked, let me do that. I was drinking all the time, and once I was drinking, I couldn't handle it. I'm not a good drunk. I'd fall asleep. Everybody make fun of me. They were still partying, Okay, so let me do cocaine. Let me try to get up. Let me try to keep the party going. And that's how that started.
So just nightlife got a hold of you.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel that I would, whenever I would go, wherever I bounced around the country a lot. And so any place I'd go, I'd always go get a job at one or two places, either being a waiter, cause I knew I can get cash, or being a bouncer at a strip club. And as long as I was a bouncer at a strip club, I had an immediate plug for everything I needed, everything I wanted to do, everything I wanted to know. But, as much as I like to fancy myself built like that and all that, but that nightlife, the strip club life, like all that shit chewed me up big time. It doesn't stop.
I mean, I have people that I used to work with. They're at Empire Control Room and Garage, and a lot of them, one committed suicide, one overdosed. And these are very big names here in Austin. Rest in peace to my guys, but I've not seen anything good coming out of that, man. Like, cool, go to a concert, but like getting so drunk that you go next door to the dive bar and get yourself a bag, and then you're upstairs on 6th Street there's like apartments up there above, and to like 3-4 in the morning with some, that's how I met some high-end people that own clubs, own bars, own everything. And that's not the life, man.
Yeah.
You got to grow up. You can't keep doing that.
For sure. The gentleman who owns Squatch here, this gym and everything around here, he used to be one of the owners of some of the big clubs here in Austin, Nemo's being one of them. And
what's his name?
Jason.
Is he bald?
Okay. No, I'll introduce you after this. Very good dude. But he and I met on a ruck one day. And it was one of my first times out there rucking, first time meeting him, and shared a little bit of my story. He started sharing a little bit of his story. And it was it was such a breath of fresh air because he's not in the recovery world. He doesn't do social media or any of that. But to sit there and talk to him, and he told me straight up, he goes, look, man, I was a club owner. I was a bar owner. He goes, I feel like I almost used to kill people. He goes, you weren't leaving my bar till you were fucked up. And if you weren't fucked up, I was going to make sure you were fucked up. I'll pour liquor down your throat. You know what I mean? Which is very much the culture of downtown 6th Street or any other bar, any other place in the country. And he's like, I finally woke up and realized that I was fucking killing people. And he goes, now everything I do is to try to build people up. So that's why he opened the gym. That's why he does the sauna and cold plunges. If you're anybody in Austin, and I don't want to out him for this, but if you're anybody in Austin that works in the service industry or you're a musician, you get special rates here at Squatch.
Oh, nice.
And then anybody else in that kind of world, he definitely looks out for and takes care of.
That hits me to heart, man.
Yeah.
That I feel like that he's doing an amazing job for that, man. Yeah. That's awesome.
There's also have you ever heard of the restaurant called Commodore?
No, I haven't.
So it's one of the bougie restaurants downtown. They're known for their fish marrow tacos, which I've never had, but it sounds too bougie for me. But Philip Spear is the owner, and I know he's like one of the celebrity chefs there. He's a good buddy of mine, but he started something called Shift the Post Shift. And so instead of people going out after they get off work from the bar or from restaurants late at night
to go drink some more and party,
they go run.
Really?
And so then that, or they'll meet early, which is 10 a.m. for them. Restaurant night people, they'll meet pre-shift to go for their run. And so so it's called Shift the Post Shift instead of hanging around afterwards and drinking. So Austin, you know what I mean? I bounce all over the place. Austin's one of the only cities where I've seen some stuff like this.
This makes me very happy. I didn't know about any of this.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Quite a while. But but that's the thing though. You gotta look for it. You know what I mean? If you're not somebody that's out there combing the streets looking for it, you know, there's Ben's friends, which I need to get in touch with some of them. I know they're pretty nationwide that are for service industry people, looking for their way out kinda. Yeah. Or support, not their way out of the service industry, but supporting that. So there is there, but there's not much. And so anytime you can get anybody that's a big thing. Like it's a big topic with me lately is I hear and see a lot of people bitching about a lot of problems, and I don't see anybody doing shit. Like you could bitch about problems or you could be part of the fucking change. And I personally am part of the fucking change every time. You're a part of the change. And those are the people I want to be around. I don't want to be around people that just talk. I've done that I've been around people like that my whole life. I want to see action.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah. There's that saying that says that if you still do the same shit and you keep complaining about it, but you're not doing anything different to change it, that's insanity or something like that. Like that. I say that all the time. I'm like, bro, shut up or do something about it. Like, I don't want to hear you crying. Like,
I went to a leadership thing here in Austin, and it was for like the America 250, and it brought people from all different walks of life together, and we talked about problems and issues and all that. And there were two younger girls at table, and they were asked what some of the issues were that they were passionate about, and they spoke very passionately and deeply on a woman's right to choose. And they gave like a good 15 minutes of like fire of like, you know, these people are doing this and this person and this administration and this and that. And then they got done, and I was like, all right, like, yeah, awesome. Like, so what do we do? And then they went back into another 10 minutes of like bitching about the problem. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, you got a table full of motherfuckers right here that are about it. Like, what do we do? And there was no solution to any problem. And I just see anybody that watches the news or their phone all the time, that's all they do and hear about is bitching about problems. And then they go bitch about their problems. And everybody's too lazy to say like, hey, I don't like what's going on in my fucking neighborhood. Why don't we fucking do something? Yeah.
And my wife we could talk about that all the time. She's like talking about the news, and I'm like, Brittany, don't talk to me about that stuff. She's like, why? I was like, because I'll get up and I'll start a whole fucking riot, bro. Like, I will. If you don't like something and you're that deeply moved by it, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Right.
But you have a wife here that's going to do something about it, and do you want me to go to jail? Like, I was like, it's okay to talk about it, but like, let's try to figure out something first instead of just going 100%.
What I've noticed is my entire life I've never seen a politician come save anybody ever. So I don't know why year after year people sit there passionately, get about this and want to complain and we're going to fight amongst each other. The more I focus on that outside world and everything I see on my phone that's supposed to make me scared and fucking all these different things and this divisiveness, it's not the world I see around me every day. It's not the world I live in. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it doesn't exist somewhere. It's just not the world that I see every day, nor the world that I create or the community that I create and all that.
Just take care of our community first, one person at a time. It's infectious. It's like having COVID or whatever you want to say, a flu. It's one person sees it, they like it. Like the other day, we were at the store and a man opened the door for me and he said, "Happy Monday," and I was like, "Oh shit, it is Monday," and well, I guess I am happy. Thank you. Happy Monday to you.
Yeah.
And then I went to another store and I saw somebody walking up, so I opened the door and said the same thing.
There you go.
And it was like, that shit's infectious. Like, we need to do that. We need more of it. We need more of that. And not so much as like people looking for handouts and a physical something. Like we need our hearts. We need to touch somebody else's heart and let them go forward and touch somebody else's heart and actually care.
Yep. The more I waste my time focusing on all that shit out there that I'll never be able to change, all I can change is this. So why the fuck am I so focused about that?
Yeah, like one day at a time, like on anything you do.
Yep.
Just start somewhere.
Yep, for sure. For sure. So you're in the night industry, you're dabbling in drugs and all that, you're having issues. What ends up pulling you out, or where do we end up righting the ship? Did you have that wake up call moment?
I don't think I did. I think my wife did. I was really addicted. It was getting really bad to the point where I wasn't sleeping for a couple of days. My wife would wake up and go to work, and I was still doing drugs. And I've never talked about this to anybody, so my family's gonna be watching this. They're gonna know what drug I was doing, and they're gonna know what, how bad it got, how evil of a dark place I was at, and I wouldn't stop. I didn't care what she said, and she said if I didn't stop, this could be the end of us. And I'm like, well, bye. I don't care. Like, you don't love me if you're not gonna stay with me. Like, not even thinking like rationally, like she's saying this because she loves me, and I shouldn't be doing this. And deep down, I do know I'm not supposed to be doing it. I'm deep down, I'm praying to God, saying like, let this be my last night. Like, I shouldn't be feeling like this and waking up and trying to go to sleep and just being in a dark place that I feel that is an evil place that nobody wants to be, but yet we continue to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And one day I threw up some black stuff, and she took me to the ER, and they said that something was going on with me. Then I need to cut my shit with my drinking. And I thought about it. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm partying 2 days in a row, and I'm smoking, chain smoking, and I'm drinking alcohol for 2 days straight, I can kill a bunch of bottles, man, no problem. I had a bar, endless bar. And then one day I decided and told my wife, you know what? New Year's is coming up. I'm going to have a party at the house. I'm going to take all the alcohol out of the bar. I'm going to put it in the pool room. So when people are playing pool, they can make their drinks or whatever, and tell them at the end of the night, and I'm going to put a bunch of cocaine everywhere. I was like, we're going to party hard. It's my last hurrah. And everybody...
She allegedly put cocaine everywhere.
Allegedly. And I told everybody, if you don't finish all the alcohol, because it was a lot of alcohol, take it home. So I emptied out the whole house. There was nothing. And I didn't even do as much.
If you're in recovery, don't try this at home. Keep going.
I didn't even do a lot. I didn't even care. I was kind of like more...
Done.
Yeah, like a wake of the old me and watching it. And then at the end of the night, I had a live band. I had a jacuzzi. I had people jump in the jacuzzi doing all, like, it was crazy. Since then, I've been sober for 4 years, going on 5 just on New Year's.
Let's go.
I'm not going to say that it was easy. Like, there's still times where, holidays where everybody drinks a little bit, or they have all these, situations. And the next day I couldn't walk my dog and it's empty everywhere. And I'm like, everybody's probably hungover. You know, plans get made to do stuff, and I'm just like, I'm good. I'm gonna stay home with my dogs and give them some calming treats and watch some movies or something. You know.
But man, the dogs. The dogs are my. I've told this story numerous times, but I was never a dog person. I loved dog. I mean, dogs were cool. I just never had one. And we went and visited my mother-in-law and my mother-in-law, and then I opened the door, first time ever meeting her, and there's two fucking massive male Dobermans sitting there, and I'm like, and within 2 seconds, those motherfuckers were my best friends. They never left my side. I'd sit down, they'd sit up and post, and they'd look out and guard me and all that, and I fell in love. So we got home, and I'm like, all right, we're getting a Doberman. Nice. So now we have two, and it wasn't, maybe 6 months ago, it was Saturday morning, we're kicked back on the couch, and I got one dog under each arm sitting there and her next to me, and I looked over and I'm just like, thank you. And she's like, for what? And I'm like, for doing this in my life. Like, I did not know that I could have this much love sitting around me like that.
It's a different life.
Yeah.
A completely different. We talk about it all the time. Look at us. We're suburban lesbians walking our dogs. And one dog can't walk, so we have her on a baby stroller. But for dogs, she's a mini English bulldog.
Aww.
And she can't walk too much. The Frenchie can go just a little bit, but yeah, man, we live across the street from a dog park, a kid playground, a pool, and we're just like, if I didn't stop doing drugs and selling drugs, I never would have thought I would have this. I thought I needed to do that to get what I have, and no, you don't, man. And people, when I go visit Uvalde, they're like, how do you have all the things that you have? You're rich and this and that. I'm like, I'm not rich. I'm rich in life, but I'm not rich. And I'm like, try to stop drinking. Just try 30 days. If you could stop drinking for 30 days, you're not gonna do cocaine. You're not gonna do any other drugs. Just try stopping for 30 days. I dare you. Just challenge you. Challenge yourself.
Yeah.
See if you could do it.
There's a lot of people. They don't think they're an alcoholic in the sense because maybe they've never gotten a DUI or they don't wake up and drink like that. But if you go home and you drink every day, you may only have one or two, but guess what? Try going a couple of days without those, because alcohol is weird. You can go a day or two without it before you start getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but then once those shakes and all that set in, it's a whole different. It's one of the hardest things to come off of. Well, thankfully, you made it out, and at least you got to go out on a high note because you went out with a banging party. That's how we all wish we could have went out. Most of us, it was fucking broke in a jail cell or catching a prison sentence or something. But it sounds like you went out with a bang. Then how did you end up getting into barber, or were you always just kind of cutting hair?
When I was in prison, I was trying to figure out a hustle as well.
And I was just my next thing was me going into the prison haircutting. Go ahead. I didn't realize you'd been locked up.
Yeah, okay. I have.
Is that where you learned?
That's not where I learned. When I was dating a girl back in the day, she had 3 boys, and back in the day, haircuts were $20. I complained about $20, and now I see what I charge, and I'm like, damn, they're pretty expensive. But for me and 3 boys, it gets expensive plus tips. So I was like, nah, go to Walmart, go get some clippers. I'm gonna figure something out. Then I started doing their haircuts, and they wanted like faux hawks and this and that, and I started doing it, and people were like, oh, who did his hair? And I'm like, I did. They're like, you do mine? I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just chopping it up, and then it got to like the point where it was a weekend and we were going out as family, and they're calling me, blowing me up. Hey, where are you, man? I need a haircut. I was like, for free, bro? You're gonna press me for free? Right. Like, nah, dude, like run me some money. So then I was like, wait, light bulb, I can make money doing this as well. Then when I got locked up, I was trying to learn how to do it. Because as you know, you have to have a lookout. You have to go do it in the bathroom. They got to tell you they're coming, and then you can get written up if you alter your appearance. So if you cut your hair, it's altering your appearance. You're trying to run away. It's pretty bad. But they didn't care.
TDC? Huh? TDC?
No, federal.
Okay. Oh, then you went to the feds? What'd you go to the feds for?
Weed.
For weed? God, how much you get popped with?
I think it was I don't remember the number. I'm dyslexic with numbers, so I forget numbers.
Crossing state lines, or how'd you get federal?
Just moving it. Yeah.
Yeah, no good.
Moving a lot of it, and I shouldn't have been. So.
Yeah, quickly when I got locked up in TDC, I quickly realized the Mexicans knew what they were doing with cutting the hair, and they were the cool ones that were going to show me. They taught me how to cook. They taught me how to fucking cut hair, everything.
There was a girl I was locked up with, and she was making a cookbook. She was like, "I'm gonna make a cookbook." She's like, "What are you making?" And she would go over there. "Can I write it down?" And she wrote it down. And I don't know if she ever made the cookbook or not, but now that I think about it, people were asking me, "How did y'all make this or that?" And I was like, and I'll just randomly tell my wife, "Oh, that's how you make cheesecake with this, and this." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, we made Chinese food with ramen noodles, this, and this." And she's like, "What?" And so like, she could have had something there. I don't know if she went through with it, but yeah.
That's a whole YouTube channel right there.
Do you know Alice Johnson? She was the first person Donald Trump pardoned.
Okay.
Because Kim Kardashian. Do you remember that back then?
I remember that. I remember hearing Kim Kardashian was getting people.
I was locked up with Alice Johnson. She is now the head of that, where you can pardon people from prison. She's the head of that.
Really?
And she's the first person Donald Trump ever pardoned to get out. Yeah.
Damn, that's wild. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. When you when you got out of prison, then all of a sudden you're going to barber school and just trying to get into that world?
No, I messed up a bunch of times before that, but then finally I did get myself right, and then my mom finally got an attorney for me, and with that attorney, they got everything run concurrent because I kept violating, and I was violating every other year I was going back to prison withholding, and then when I finally was off of paper, I was like, I haven't traveled, I haven't done nothing, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go travel. Then I thought about it. I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to go do what I wanted to do, and I'm going to sacrifice and go to barber school. And then later on, I'll go travel. But I need to focus on barbering and see how far I can go.
Right. I always wanted to like be really good at cutting hair. The barber was always my favorite. Every Friday, I'd go get my hair cut. When I got in the military, that was my favorite shit to do. Was Friday after work, go get my hair cut, or Friday morning. Then I lost all my hair, but now I get to go for my beard. But it's like I don't know. There's just something about the barber.
Oh yeah,
something about the barber. Every time I hear a dude saying he's going to get his hair cut, and I find out he goes to some fucking beauty salon or some shit, I'm like, what are you doing, dog? You're
missing the experience, bro.
Drink up by a fucking barber. Austin's next level with the barbers though. That should have cost you $100 fucking.
Oh yeah.
Why so expensive?
I think what did it.
Not saying you, but I'm just saying this.
I think what did it was the pandemic. Because when the pandemic hit, I couldn't make money.
What's like, I don't know, Austin has its own vibe. I'm not sure. I don't want to offend anybody, but there's a specific type of barbers, and they seem to be like the fucking twist your mustache barber guys, that they charge that shit fucking nuts. What is that? What is that style?
That is hipster.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Hipster. And I feel that everybody in Austin, because we've had it before. We've had people come in and they're like, man, I got messed up, and I went over there and paid $100 for this haircut, just the haircut. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I need this fixed, and we fixed him. And I'm like, they charge $100 for that? I don't even charge $100 for that, you know? So it's really what you can, it's the market. It's what you can get away with the circle you surround yourself with. So when I first started, I was doing like the cool haircuts and the designs and the, you know, all that. Well, that doesn't pay much. Those haircuts don't really pay that much. Mm-hmm. It's not, it's the businessman haircut that you barely even touch. That pays more. They'll pay more for that. But also, you have to consider it takes longer. Mm-hmm. They don't get haircuts every week. Yeah. So it's what you want to do and what you want to surround yourself with, honestly.
Yeah, with the clientele. Mm-hmm. So you had mentioned earlier that you were just in Uvalde. That's where you're from, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just had more floods down there with all this recent rain.
Yes.
And so you were down there?
Yeah.
So what was that looking like when you were down there?
So we were actually in Uvalde the day before it happened, And my cousin Monica, she's like, "Hey, you need to leave." And I was like, "Why?"
And
We're gonna leave in the
just to be
morning.
clear, Uvalde, this is where the shootings happened a year or two ago,
Yes.
right? Okay.
At Robb Elementary.
Yeah.
So she's like, "You gotta go. There's gonna be some bad flooding, and there's gonna be a lot of." And I was like, "No, we're just gonna leave in the morning." And she kept bugging me and bugging me, and I'm like, "Dude, all right, cool, babe, pack everything up, let's go." And as soon as we were leaving, the storm hit. Like as we were leaving, and I'm like, "Yo, this is bad." And when I got home, she called me. She's like, "Did you get home?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, "It hasn't stopped raining," and she's calling me, calling me. She has a house by the high school. It got flooded. Um, and if I wouldn't listen to my cousin, I would have been in that. I would have been stuck over there. I wouldn't have been able to, because it turned into an island.
Mm.
The bridge collapsed from Old Eagle Pass that connects to go into town, and the bridge from San Antonio going this way was overflowed, and then all of the road was like falling apart.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad. But no, me and my wife, we went down there with a bunch of donations and food and clothes, and we set up shop. And because we had went to Red Cross, and Red Cross turned us away, said, "No, we don't need nothing, we're good." So we're like freaking out. We gotta make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Made a few phone calls. My homegirl at Julio's restaurant, she told me I can use her spot. My cousin Jude pulls up and his brother, and they have those big barbecue pits in the back, and it ended up being like a carne asada. Like everybody came together. It was cool.
Yeah.
We fed a lot of people. A lot of the elderly people broke my heart because they pulled up and they're like, "We haven't ate all day," and I just looked at my wife and she's like, she just gave me the nod, and she gave them extra food to take home. So it was pretty good. It was a good turnout. Thank God.
We I mean, when we were down in Kerrville, by the day 2, it was just flooded with people down there. You know what I mean? It was really, one thing I'll say, you could say whatever you want about America and this country, but in times of need like that, people come together very selflessly. I was very surprised. You remember the Palisades fires out in California?
Yeah.
They were all crazy. So I was set to go out to LA for the first time ever. And so I'm all psyched. I'm going to do it on a big podcast out there. I'm all psyched to go. And boom, the fires happen. And now everyone's like, "No, don't go out there. Don't go out there." And the event and stuff I was going to, I got canceled. And I was like, fuck it. I already got the ticket. At least I can go out there and try to be of some help. And so I had a buddy out there that was part of a veteran organization. And so I'm like, all right, cool. Fly out there anyways, see if I can go help some people. Let's go. And so we get out there, and my last experience was Kerrville. All these people coming together and fucking rallying around, and how can I help? And we got out to California and went out to where everything was going down. And number one, if you're watching the news, now I'm not saying people didn't get hurt or a fire didn't happen or anything like that, but when I left Texas, after it just happening, when I was landing in LA, there was no fire currently going on. There was a little bit of haze around the city, but I don't even know if that was pollution or whatever it was. And then you land and you see the news going on in the airport, and they're just showing the fucking Palisades engulfed in flames, and it's still going on. And we went out there, and there was no flames. It wasn't even smoldering anymore. And we went out there, and we tried to help, and we tried to bring supplies, and they turned us away, and they turned the supplies away. And they said they were only taking monetary donations, which I thought was awful weird. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Awful weird that you only want the money, but you don't want all these goods that we have right here, sitting here, or all these bodies here.
It's like giving a homeless person money, and you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Nah,
what are you going to do with it?
I don't trust where that money's going with you. You know, so what do you mean you're only taking monetary donations?
That's
this
what
shit
happened
just
in
fucking
Uvalde
happened.
too.
Is that what happened?
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of people are taking advantage.
Yeah.
They're putting out their Cash Apps and Venmos, and everybody like us, we want to help, but we don't. The people that can't do it and be there, they have the money, so they'd rather send it, and that's where people take advantage, and it's not a good thing. A lot of people don't talk about that. Some people will be out there talking about like, oh, everything I do is for clout, and
They said that about you?
yeah.
Who said
The haircuts for the homeless. They did the news or whatever, and made the mistake of reading the comments, and that tore me apart because they said that I was enabling the homeless for what I was doing, because I got a whole team together. Everybody goes every last Sunday of every month. Fish and Chips goes down there and they do church. They do food. So that's the perfect time for me to set up and go cut hair. And I'm like, clout? I've been doing it for 5 years. How is that clout? Like, and no matter what you say, people will tear you down and say like bad things of what trying to break your character. And I think that's just the devil, man, because no matter what, like you going down there and trying to do something, they turned you away. We went down there to try to turn us away. It's not going to be the first. It's not going to be the last. It's letting people know like it's not easy.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that we're just taking pictures, and they literally said, "Why was I taking pictures in Uvalde for doing what I did?" And I'm like, because I have sponsors. They want us. I want them to see where their money's going. I'm not using this because y'all do run your mouth. The people that run their mouth are the people that are at home not doing anything. Like, what did you do for your community? Like, I do more for your community. I ain't even from here, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. I had a guest on recently, and the episode got quite a bit of traction, and it was a lot of people wanted to see me give some sort of like gotcha interview or like fucking press this person, but that's not why I had them here. I didn't have them here to contest their beliefs. I had it here to have a conversation, understand them better. So it's two very different things. And she unfortunately, I think at the beginning, she was trying to be a good guest and was replying to all the comments. Well, all the comments, especially on the YouTube channel, weren't all favorable comments, and so she started to take it really hard. And I said, look, if these aren't people that you would call for advice, fuck everything what they have to say. Why do you care what they have to say? You know where your heart is. You know what you're doing. You know you're out there giving haircuts to the homeless people, you know what I mean, for the right reasons. Fuck what they're talking about. They don't pay your bills. You don't answer them. You don't got to ask them for anything. Fuck them.
One time
there's some shadow with a phone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what anybody in that comments has to say.
One time we were doing remember when the big freeze happened?
Yep.
So
Apocalypse?
Yes.
We
Me and Scott, we made a bunch of food for first responders, for the elderly people in the those old homes. What are they called? I saw the news show up, and I already know I don't want to be in the news. I don't want none of that. I'm not gonna do none of that. So I threw my wife out there, and she got on the front page of the was it the Newsman, or what's it called?
I know what you're talking about.
The popular...
the Statesman.
Statesman. She's on the front page and this and that, and she's like, you knew what you were doing, because I was there and they were going to do it, and I took off running. I told my wife to go take my spot. She's like, I know what you did. You didn't want to be on the front page, right? And I was like, yup. I don't want nothing to do with it. When I start seeing cameras, I go, you'll see me dip and hide.
Yeah, it's all in way. I just did... I wish I would have known that you had done the homeless stuff, because I just did a couple episodes again. A couple episodes ago, we went downtown at the Cesar Chavez right there where they get their food at. And we spent the whole day out there, and we were passing out donuts. And so it all started, I was walking out of a Starbucks the one day, and there was a homeless guy on the bench, and he hit me up. He's like, hey, man, give me something. And I was like, all right, man, what do you want? And he hits me with like mocha frappe with sprinkles and a donut, this or whatever. And I'm like, dog, I'm here. I'm trying to buy you food. I'm not trying to buy you dessert. And so I didn't do it. And so I left. And so later on in the day, I'm talking to somebody here at the gym, actually, and I was telling them the story, and they were like, oh, man, they were like, a lot of homeless people like sweets like that because it makes them feel normal. They feel like they get a dessert or a treat like somebody, you know what I mean, a normal person would at their house. And I was like, damn, now I feel bad. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I drive past Cesar Chavez every day, and I used to be out there. So I'm going to go down there and see what I could do. So I got a bunch of donuts and food and waters, and I had shoes and clothes and all that stuff. And we went around there, and number one, it's not, it sounds like a really good idea. I knew what was going to happen, but it sounds like a good idea trying to go down there and help the homeless. But you show up down there and they want to know what the fuck you're doing down there. They're not used to seeing you down there. You don't look like you belong there. Sure as fuck don't pull out no cameras right off the bat. Like, I knew all that stuff already, but so it took us an hour or two to like get down there and get in the scene and like be cool with people to where we're doing everything we were doing. But I was asking them, and there's nothing out there for them. Like, they literally don't even know where to go for the first step to get a case manager, to try to get help for treatment, to try to get this. And unfortunately, all their aspirations down there are to get a check because that's all they know about. So they just think their only way out is to get some kind of check. And it's not, because that's all that they're ever told is trying to get this check. But my whole goal was going to be have somebody come down, cut hair, and like see what we could start doing down there. Are you familiar? Or maybe it's what you're talking about with Church Under the Bridge.
Maybe that. All I know that there was fish and chips or fish and loaves or something like that.
Mobile loaves and fishes.
Yes.
Okay.
Them.
Yeah,
they feed, and then the other ones I've worked with them, which they give them showers.
Okay. Yeah. I saw them out there
during the Great Freeze. They told me that they were housing them, and I went over there and did haircuts, and I got a group. And anytime I post on social media, they all the barbers are like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. You know, which has been amazing. All
right. Next time we need to plan something out. Let's do something down there.
Well, I just saw right now that DJ Heliella is doing DJ Heliella Day, and he's going to be feeding a bunch of homeless on his day, and I think it's this week, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let me know. Hit me up.
DJ Heliella. I've done a lot of...
Austin DJ, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hip-hop and R&B. He's amazing DJ.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, man, anytime. I'm always ready and able to help. I did stop during COVID because I didn't think that was worth my life. I didn't know what COVID was. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I was scared. I couldn't even work. Like, I couldn't make a living. And I couldn't even get unemployment. So
yeah. Nuts. Crazy. I just had a conversation about COVID the other day. My buddy looked at me and he goes, "So what? I suppose you're gonna tell me COVID wasn't real?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm not even gonna go down that with you." So we heard some of your story about what life used to look like, right? Then at what point? I know you said you had that big party and everything, but you get into barber school. You're with your wife now. Like, when does life start looking like life now? Where we found ourselves. How did we get to the white picket fence of which you live now, across from the dog park? And
being sober helped out a lot, but also trying not to give up. I think in my lifetime, I'm very passionate about things, and I start things, but I don't finish them. Like I said with the whole camera stuff, I wouldn't be doing no camera stuff, but there's that one thing that in my life right now that I'm telling myself is that get uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable right now. Like, I'm trying to lose weight right now. I'm not where I want to be, and I just started, and I don't want to be in a camera. I'm trying to position myself and just awkward, and I'm uncomfortable as heck. But you know what? I'm going to use this as fuel, as this being the first interview. This is literally my first interview. I have another one with Sacred coming up soon, but this is my first actual interview.
All right, we got to make sure we get this out before Sacred.
And I'm just excited to get uncomfortable. I want to look back. I want to be like, look at this, and look what I do now. Look at the,
Yeah.
I want to learn. Like I was talking to him earlier about editing. I want to learn. I can pay anybody, cool. But when a lot of people aren't always there or available, and when you need stuff out, like, it's better for you to be educated. That's one thing that I'm very excited about, getting uncomfortable, because you could say all day, I want to walk my dogs in the morning, walk them more in the afternoon, but if you don't just get uncomfortable and just do it, or be like, I'll do it in the morning, or just be uncomfortable, go do it.
Perfect point of you saying that is after the documentary, I traveled around a lot as a speaker, and then eventually I ended up working in the recovery industry and doing that, and I did very well doing that. And then there was a point where I left the recovery industry and making quite a bit of money to chase doing the podcast. And it was before nonprofit or anything like that. But I went from making that transition and doing the podcast, which then comes social media, then comes all the stuff that comes with it, editing, all that shit. I didn't even know how to turn on a fucking MacBook. When that documentary came out, I wasn't doing shit like that. I always said I would never be that person. But once I started realizing the ability that we have to be able to help people or make a difference, and it's this free tool, like, to get the word out and everything, it's like, why would I not use this? And so then I start getting uncomfortable, and then I start seeing all this kind of growth and all that stuff. And then the funniest thing about all this is a lot of people see they know about the movie coming out and all that stuff. And they think, well, they made the documentary from the movie. The director didn't get inspired to create the script for the movie until he saw what I've done with this. Because I started the podcast, because I started chasing that, and all the growth he saw from that and the community I built around it, that's what inspired him to do the movie. So all that started from being scared and not wanting to do an Instagram post. You know what I mean? Like, so you have no idea. We have no idea what can come from that, but I promise you it is going to be one of the most fulfilling. I'm not saying the social media. I'm just saying the journey that you're on right now of the fitness and transformation and using this as fuel and all that. Like, that's my exact equation. And that shit will change your fucking life.
I'm banking on it, man. I'm banking on it.
Find good people to do it with. I'd love for you to come to our run group on Saturday. Now,
I'm down.
No, nobody runs by themselves. We stop and walk. We stop and get water. People bring their dog. People push babies in strollers. Saturday is more of a community thing. It's not like a come out and die on a run type shit. But I can't say enough for surrounding yourself around the good people to do it with, because that's what helps when we lose our natural motivation. There's a difference between motivation and discipline. And you sound like a big motivation person where it's like, I got no problem starting stuff and I'm fucking all in.
Yeah.
But the discipline part is to keep going.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? And so doing it with people and coming out there with people like me that aren't gonna let you slide and be like, hey, you said you were gonna be here, get your ass here type shit.
Yes,
that's what makes the difference. And you will be 6 months from now, a year from now, you're gonna look back and be like, thank God I did this shit.
I'm banking on that, man. I really am. And I'm excited to help you with your run coming up.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
You were looking for volunteers for a run.
The Austin Marathon?
Is that what it is?
February?
I didn't see the date.
So we had the Redemption Games pass by a couple weeks or a ways back. That was kind of like the amazing race we did here. Our next big thing is Did I post anything else? Our next big thing is Austin Marathon. That's February.
You just posted it this morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be February. So last year we were one of the official nonprofits with Austin Marathon, and we were responsible for the Mile 1 aid station, and we showed up and showed out. And so this year we're even more. Now we're one of the official partners with the marathon, and they're going to be doing a red carpet debut of the movie. So we're doing a whole bunch with them, and so
exciting, bro! Congratulations with that. That is amazing.
Nuts. So my just to make things a little bit more difficult, I said that we would cover 2 aid stations because I thought it would look way cooler having 2 than 1.
Oh yeah.
So by February 14th, which is going to be Valentine's Day weekend, I'll hopefully have upwards of around 150 volunteers split on each side, and we're mobbed out.
Count me in.
Let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about. It is my hope to get anybody that supports mental health, supports sobriety, supports veterans, any of that shit, and pack that shit out. Make sure we represent for Austin one time.
Absolutely.
All the forgottens, all the fucking black sheep, all of us people out there that they counted out, we're here.
We're the goats now.
We are. I'm telling you, with this world that we live in, it forces us into this mental state of like self-defeating, right?
Social media, absolutely.
Yeah, and so it's so many people that their instant go-to is, I can't do that. It's like, I can't get down with that type of mindset. Like, yes, I fucking can. You can't? I will. And that's just the way I am. I didn't realize we had that ability until I started getting out here and using my story and, you know what I mean, doing all this stuff, and it built that confidence to make me realize we are capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit.
What is that saying? If one door closes,
it opens 2 more open or some shit.
Some shit like that, right? I always said if one door closes, fucking kick door that motherfucker, or fucking break a window, bro. But it's gonna happen no matter what. There's a will, there's a way. If you fucking want it bad enough, you're gonna make it happen.
Manifest
Anybody.
Yep. You're right. The only difference is the only difference between somebody that's gonna make it not is the delusional person that fucking believes in themselves to keep fucking going. That's it.
Oh yeah.
They just didn't stop.
Yes.
Everybody hits those points where things get hard and they're like, I don't want to do this, and it's just the dude that just didn't stop for that. It's literally the only difference.
Absolutely.
It's not talent or any of that.
It's delusion.
It is. If you can flip that delusion for a good way.
Positive delusion.
Yeah. For a long time, I had a negative delusion, but so a little bit lighter question.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite. I've asked it every episode I've ever done. Hypothetically speaking, tonight, you're walking out for the UFC Championship of the World. What is your walkout song? What is that one song that lets everybody know Cookie the Badass has entered the fucking building?
I'd have to go with AC/DC because
Which one? Which song?
I think it's Thunderstruck. The beginning where it's like dogs growling.
Is Thunderstruck AC/DC? I'm sure it is, right?
That
It is.
thunder.
Yeah. I know the song you're talking about. Yeah, that's got to be AC/DC.
That one, because I'm from Uvalde, Texas, and that was the song they played when Here Comes the Coyotes, which is the football team or, basketball team. They played that because they're the Coyotes. And that's always hyped me up. So.
Yeah. I was immediately thinking Back in Black when you said AC/DC. And then
honestly, all of them are real good.
They're all bangers.
All of them get me hyped up to get down.
Can't go wrong with that era. Can't go wrong. If somebody was sitting there listening to this and then they heard a little bit of your story or they shared some of your experience, you've touched on a lot here. You touched on drug abuse. You touched on just trauma you've been through, lesbian, like so many different things. Somebody that's listening to this that's out there having a tough time now, they're going through it, what you've been through. What is your recommendation for them? What is your guidance?
I recommend to reach out to somebody who's sober, somebody that they look up to, and try to just do one thing differently every day that will not keep them stuck in what they are now. I always challenge people, just try 30 days sober. Just try it, just 30 days. You can do whatever you want to after, but just try 30 days and see how you feel. See how better your money is. See how better your relationships are. Just try to something different. Try to get uncomfortable. I'm always around Faded by Cookie on Instagram. You can always DM me. I'm very good at getting back with people. I go to MMA, Black Widow MMA, and I'll give you 2 free sessions to come out and try something new. Let's go.
About that action. That's good stuff. I appreciate you. There's a lot of people that say a lot of good things, but you're talking about action and really trying to show people.
Absolutely.
Same thing as me inviting somebody on a run or any of that kind of shit. Very good stuff. Is there, you said Faded by Cookie, that's where everybody can get a hold of you?
Yes, sir. Faded by Cookie.
And then what other big things you got coming up? Anything? Events? Things we should be looking out for?
BarberCon coming up in Dallas in September the 13th, babe. Oh, I think she's asleep. September 13th, I believe BarberCon's coming up. Super big barber event. Super excited about that. My podcast. I'm working on my podcast.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Billionaire Barber Slope.
Okay.
So working on my merch. Super excited about your merch.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm trying to get our own barbershop. We're working on that right now.
Hell yeah.
So
good shit. A lot of big things coming. Well, you let me know how I can support. You let me know anything we could do together. I'm in for sure. If you would, number one, before I forget, we brought up Austin Marathon. So right now we are just getting ready to kick off all our Austin Marathon stuff. If you are running Austin Marathon this year, I invite you to come run it for a cause. Anybody that's out here that supports mental health, supports substance abuse recovery, supports veterans, we invite you to come out and join Team I Am Redemption. If you're somebody out there, you can't afford the bib to run Austin Marathon, if you're willing to raise $500 for the I Am Redemption nonprofit, we will go ahead and we will take care of your bib for the race. Austin Marathon is also joined in on that. We have the first 5 people that come and they're ready to raise $500 for the nonprofit. The Austin Marathon will take care of their bib. This week we are starting marathon training. It doesn't matter if you've never ran a mile. Come out and join us. We will get you going. And check out IamRedemption.org. We are a nonprofit. You can always text 53555 if you want to support the mission of what we're doing. But we are out here in the streets of Austin, and we are trying to make a difference. And it is the fuel that you guys provide that helps us be able to keep doing that. So we appreciate you. We would ask you that please, that most of you that listen to this show aren't yet subscribed to the channel. So please hit the subscribe button, like it, share it. Share Cookie's amazing story with anybody that you know that you think it can help. And Cookie, without further ado, if you'd be so kind to take a look in your camera and maybe throw out a couple I am statements to let the people know who Cookie truly is.
Okay, I was wondering where you were looking at. I was
Camera.
What camera? Okay, I am Cookie Zamarripa. I am a strong, independent woman, and I encourage you to be a strong, independent person. I want you to be fearless because that's what I am. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to take care of everybody, one person at a time. And I challenge you to take care of one person at a time and make it be infectious and make this world a greater place.
Oh, Cookie, you're a fucking badass. Appreciate you much. Love you. Reach out if you need anything, and I can't appreciate you for taking the time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cause the dream gets cold, we gon' keep that flame. Bring energy in the rooms, you won't leave the same. Scars on my back, I'ma stand up straight. Morals about to guide me down the road I take. What's the price of redemption? Hard work and dedication. You need a reason to live, well I'ma put one in your faces. They got it all confused about the talent that it takes. It just take a little effort, the opportunities made. We shift, take a lesson with